course. My twins were born in 1995, and by 1997, one of the two twins, Carly, was diagnosed with autism. We kind of knew something was off pretty much right away. You could just sort of tell the way she cried, the way she wasn't achieving any of her milestones, particularly compared to her twin sister, that something was off. So we got a formal diagnosis of autism at age 2, and I'd say by 3 or 4 they had added things like PDD, GDD, oral motor apraxia, just a whole slew of diagnoses that basically meant that she was cognitively delayed, unable to speak, autistic, like not a great scenario. And, you know, as parents, you have one of 2 options, or maybe 3 options. You can feel horribly guilty and do nothing, go into denial, or you can, you know, fight like hell. And so we decided to fight like hell. We decided that the option of putting our daughter in a group home was not an option, that we would do whatever it took and spend whatever it cost to get her the right therapy, the right intervention. And so we went from doctor to doctor, psychologist to psychologist, therapist to therapist. And we started to see some improvement. I mean, at, you know, 6 or 7, it was still pretty brutal. She only slept 2 to 3 hours a night. She was fairly inadvertently destructive, like she overflowed the tub. I write in the opening of the book how she escaped from the house one evening and ran across 3 city blocks, and we found her, you know, stripped naked in a park. So it was pretty tumultuous, but we did have a sense that there was something going on inside her, that there was an intelligence, an innate intelligence, and maybe we were the only ones to see it, Tammy and my wife and myself and, you know, a couple of her therapists, but we were going to hang on to that. At 10, my wife and I had taken the other 2 kids away for a spring break, and we get a call from Howie and Barb, who were her 2 sort of champion therapists, her speech pathologist and her behavioral therapist. And they said, Carly's been typing all day. And we said, what do you mean? Like, the dog can't type and Carly can't type. Like, you know, that doesn't, Carly isn't a typist. She can't do that kind of thing. And they said, no, seriously. She reached across and she typed on the voice output device, she typed, help, teeth, hurt. And then she threw up. And we said, really? You know, we believed them, but we thought maybe they had been coaching in a way that sort of facilitated her. And we got back and Barb said, no, we never touch Carly. We don't touch her elbows. We don't touch any part of her when she types. She has to do everything independently. And over the coming weeks after we got back, we started to see her type. And she started with very simple words and simple requests like, you know, Dad, can we go for a walk? Or I want mac and cheese or whatever. And in the coming months, she just started to show more and more intelligence and insight. And over the years, to jump ahead to, you know, 12 or 13, she showed that she has a very quirky, dry sense of humor. She has an incredible knowledge of pop culture. She understands her condition and she can shed light. You know, now she writes all about what it's like to be nonverbal and to have autism and what sensory processing issues are like. But just bit by bit, it was like an onion with layers sort of peeling away, and we started to see this incredible kid inside. Today, now at 17, she's been writing 7 years. She's connected with celebrities all across the US to help her get her message out there. She has a Facebook page with, I think as of today, 33 or 34,000 followers on it. She answers questions from people all over the world about people with autism, their kids with autism, their students with autism. She has 25,000 Twitter followers. She writes on her blog. I mean, her thing now is, now that I found my voice, I want to use it to affect change. The sad thing is we don't know how rare this is, right? I think that Carly is exceptional in that she got a ton of therapy and a lot of intervention very young, and we are very aggressive parents that way. We don't take no for an answer. So when the government says, you know, you're getting cut off, that's enough funding, we say that's not so. You're gonna, you know, we're gonna keep going. So I think that, you know, we know other kids like her, more in the States. We've found fewer of them here in Canada, but in California, she's got a number of friends who are equally nonverbal and intelligent. And what's kind of sad to me is how many others are out there who could find their voice if they were given the right opportunity and the right intervention. So that's sort of our commitment, to help people find their inner voice. Is she rare? Within the autism spectrum, it's just like the general population. You're going to have smarter people and more articulate people, and some who are less so. I think Carly is probably, she's definitely on the smarter end of that spectrum. Her IQ is over 120, 125. So she's definitely on the intelligent end of the spectrum. But are there other kids who could have some incredible breakthroughs? Probably.